Hello, this is Owen, the developer of In the Weeds. I wanted to make a video to show how it works, just a little walkthrough of the instrument. I want to start off the video by asking you if I do get nominated for the Global Swarm event. I would really appreciate it if you headed over to the Discord and voted for my instrument. It would be awesome if I got the chance to meet Christian. It would really help me on my musical journey. So let's jump into the instrument. So I want to preface it by saying I don't think it's really the best instrument for composition. I think of it more as a interactive art piece or like a time capsule of this moment in my life. Working at the restaurant, but I think it's pretty cool. Maybe you think it's cool, but I know it's a little confusing, so I wanted to make this video to explain how it works. So I'm going to start off with the yellow portion right here. So this, all it does is it triggers the sounds I captured of the cello. Holden Bittner performed the cello. And I got him performing it with 3 different articulations. We have bowed, plucked, and hit. The hit one was him hitting the string with a pencil. And the way you select which articulation, of course, you hit these buttons on here. And so, for example, the plucked sounds like this. Let me turn down the delay and the reverb. The hit sounds like this. And then the bowed sounds like this. And if you want, you have this speed dial that controls how quickly the performance of the cello is. So, for example, here's the pluck. Maybe I should hit it a little higher. And if I control the speed knob up, you will hear the performance speeding up. Yeah, so pretty simple. I should also say, all of the samples for this were said to be mono, but I wanted to make it so that it had like a stereo field. So you will notice that every time you hit a note, it pans the cello across the stereo field. So right now, you can see that's very much to the right. I'm going to hit the same key again, still to the right a little bit. Now this third hit turns out to be to the left. It's just completely random. So as you play it, it kind of just jumps around the stereo field. Okay, cool. And I think this is probably how the instrument's going to work in the end, that the piano book community creates. I think it will be very similar, where there's a speed knob that just controls how fast the performance is, but we're just going to have like a bunch of different samples. So I wanted to do the yellow one to kind of just show what I think the piano book community is going to make. So with the other ones, I went a completely different direction. I mean, like this blue one, basically I recorded a bunch of samples and I found out that if a sample doesn't have like a strong fundamental frequency, it's really hard to tune to the note of C. So basically everything used in the blue one are all the samples that I really struggled to tune to the note of C. So instead I made a drum sequencer out of it. So you can hear that now. And I have a video that shows all the different recordings used in this. I'm not going to go over that. But basically, you can trigger these different sequencer patterns by just hitting P1, P2, P3, P4. And if you want it to become quiet, you just hit the pause button. Okay? So, of course, you can also edit it. You can add in a bunch of samples if you wanted. So this is triggering a bunch of, I think, cutting of vegetables. Yeah. And if you like this, you can just save it. You can hit the save button, and I don't know if it's showing on the screen, but now you can type in test. I don't know. And now you can look in here, and it has test right here. So if I wanted to load it again, pretend I cleared out this, you just click test and it loads it in. So that's pretty cool. You can make your own patterns. Yeah. Or you can just load in ones that I have presented for you. So I want to show how this accent works. The accent works in coordination with these little white blocks at the top. So I'm going to add in a bunch of these. And this thing at the top, it shows essentially where you're going to be applying accents, which is just making the volume louder on that certain beat. So I'm gonna put it on the 1 and 3 beat, and you can hear it's a little bit louder on those beats. And if I do it quieter on this accent, if I turn the accent knob down, it's not quite as dramatic of a jump. But this is kind of cool. You can add in a bunch of different patterns if you want to just have like different rhythms. This is actually an idea that I got from looking at how the CR78 works. So I thought it was a cool feature. So I'm going to jump over to the green one. The green one is a granular synthesizer that uses a sample of me hitting a coupe glass. So it sounds pretty weird. So first thing to look at, you have this little box over top of the waveform, and this basically controls the range at which the granular synthesizer like captures audio from and slices it and puts it back together. So if you want it to capture like the whole audio clip, you put it up at the top, at the center. If you turn it to the left, it makes it so that the offsets to the left, to the right, offsets to the right, and then up and down just increases the range and decreases the range. So the whole sample, you'd put it all the way at the top, and you can see the line jumping across. So this thing on the right shows like the path that the granular synthesizer is taking samples from. So for instance, if I want to go from beginning to end, I would just come in here and just draw kind of like a saw wave, if you would. And you'll see this line go from left to right. Still sounds pretty weird, but it's from left to right. And then you can do the opposite by doing the opposite. So now it's going to be going in reverse. Yeah, or you can draw in weird patterns to make it kind of just jump all over the place. Yeah, pretty cool. The size, density, steps, formant, speed, they're all kind of weird controls that honestly just like mess around with it and until you find something that's cool. But short things, the size one controls how long each sliver is played. So it's kind of, you can hear it pretty well if you just mess around with it. You can hear it's very clicky in the beginning. And then if you turn it up, the grains kind of fade into each other a little bit softer, I guess. Density. Density is how many slivers are played in a period of time. So you'll see more slivers, less slivers in a period of time. It's much more audible when the size is down. Yeah. The steps are just how many steps it's taking, like with the path, this path on the right side. So yeah, you can kind of see that's pretty obvious what that does. Formant just pitches it up, pitches it down, and with like filters, so it's not like, yeah, it's formant. And then the speed is just like how quickly it plays each sliver. So it's a little different from density. It's kind of hard to explain, but essentially it's just like stretching the audio sample, stretching each grain, but it's not like changing how long it plays. It's just stretching it. Sorry, that's a horrible explanation, but hopefully you get it. So now I'm going to go over to the orange one. The orange one is just a mixer, pretty self-explanatory for the most part. So the one is the cello. So if I move it up, you'll see it get louder. Same thing with all the other things. So you can, of course, blend all the sounds with each other. But I've also included a fourth fader, which is just a recording of the dining room. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I think it adds a really cool texture to it. You can just have it in pretty quietly. If you wanted it loud, you could. I think it works much better being quiet, but so here's the noise down low. I think it works really well if you put a good bit of delay on it. It's an odd atmosphere to it. I think it's pretty cool. And then for you also have the control of the reverb of each track. And then I've given you some controls for the delay. I didn't want to add too much. The delay, you're able to control the feedback, and you're able to control the time as well. So the time is tempo synced. So the lowest you can go all the way to the left is 16th notes. And then all the way to the right is whole notes. And I've also included like dotted and triplets in there. Just mess around with it. I know it doesn't show what the note is, like what the time is. Sorry about that. I just wanted to kind of keep it simple, kind of analog-esque. So yeah, so that's just how it is. Yeah. Yeah. But that's kind of all there is to it. I mean, I have a lot of things that I think I want to change about it, and thankfully Piano Book has made it a lot easier to do updates for instruments on here. So if you have suggestions, let me know. Say it in the comments. I would love to change this to the best of my ability and to make it as good of an instrument as possible. So yeah, just comment in the bottom comment below what you think you would want added to the instrument or improved with the instrument. I also do want to take time at the very end to shout out a few of my friends on the Piano Book community. I want to shout out Hunter Rogerson, Sage Reynolds, Sam Ekoff, and Fred Poirier. They are all incredibly nice people that I've gotten the chance to work with, and I am confident that all of their submissions will be in this competition for the running for the grand prize. I'm going to leave some links in the description to their videos, to their submissions for this competition. Please check them out. They're all much more talented musicians and composers than I am. Their work is absolutely wonderful, so please check it out. Yeah, and once again, if you do like my instrument, feel free to vote for it on Discord. It would help me out a lot. Like I said before, meeting Christian would be extremely beneficial to the future of my music career, I guess. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Please check out In the Weeds. I hope this video has been beneficial to you in explaining how it works. Okay, thank you.